What's good, Knicks Nation? Let's get into this. The New York Knicks were facing the New Orleans Pelicans in Madison Square Garden tonight. And right from the jump, this game wasn't even close. Our big three, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, these guys came out of the gates hot. Firing from three was from Julius Randle. R.J. Barrett was attacking inside and out. Brunson was able to get inside and get to the free throw line using that physicality that he's known for. And then you also had Josh Hart and Emmanuel quickly giving some solid contributions off the bench. And the Knicks would just not even let the Pelicans get into this game. Even by the half, we had 73 points. And you want to talk about serendipity, as our guy Walt Clyde Frazier says. This 73 points in honor of the 72-73 Knicks winning the world title. So how about that? All right. And then when they came back from the halftime, the Knicks, it can never be easy. It can never be easy. Knicks decided to, allow them to get back into it. Had 6 total turnovers in the third quarter. Pelicans would go on a 12-2 run at one point. But then the fourth quarter came along, and these guys just packed the Pelicans up out of here. And they said, let's have some smooth sailing. Look, we even had a Derrick Rose chant getting into this game tonight because we wanted to see the vet come in. That's how good this win was, and it felt great. You saw Julius Randle and everybody encouraging the fan base to come on. So a solid win overall for the New York Knicks. They'd ultimately win 128-106. Alex Terrace here, a.k.a. the Tradicaster. With me on the other side is our guy, Chris LeBron. Tonight, we're taking calls by the Discord only. No phone calls tonight, straight up from the Discord. So make sure to download the app. TM, make sure to drop that link into the chat so that way you can hit on the link and get to there. And guess what? This show is always sponsored by Manscaped and PrizePicks. So let's get into this. Woo! Chris, my guy. How you feeling, man? How you feeling after this win?
I'm feeling good. It's the first time I'm on the show after a win. So I'm hyped. I'm hyped. This is a great win, 5-game win streak. I'm excited, man. No more of the shows with after tough losses and all that. Finally, a good win, dominant from the tip off to the end of the buzzer. I love it. I love those wins where it's just dominance from the jump. And this was that. We 42 points, 44 points in the first quarter. Like I said, 73 at the half. Third quarter, like you said, we can't always make it. They made it a little nervous, a little bit, but we wound up taking care of business, and so that was the most important. But just a great win, and obviously it's good vibes right now. 5 in a row, playing really good ball right now. Miami lost, so that's good. And we just half game behind Brooklyn right now. So Alex, my man, I'm hyped. Today's show is gonna be dope, bro. I'm excited.
It's a lot of fun, man. Look, this is the 6th. It's interesting that it's only the 6th win. Not only, I guess, not interesting because this has been the New York Knicks season. We know it's been up and down for a little bit, but 6th win this season from wire to wire for our New York Knicks. All right, solid overall performance. And I mean, we got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about our big three getting into it. I mean, Julius Randle. Let's start off there because once again, continuing his hot streak from the night before, dropped 46 points. Against the Washington Wizards. He's like, yo, I'm not done yet. All right, I'm not done. I'm gonna drop 28 tonight. Get you some 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Go 5 for 10, 50% again from downtown. For all you out there who are complaining, who are crying that Julius Randle was in the 3-point competition, this is why he was in the 3-point competition. Okay, he may not be the most efficient on the season, but guess what? He puts up a lot of shots and he can drain them too. Our guy Julius Randle out there still continuing that hot fire performance. Yo, man, he just came out of the gate hot as usual. I loved it. I love the way that he is just after the All-Star game, this man is still continuing to put up points and just looking good, man. And he's making good decision making too. I mean, like 5 assists. Fred Katz of The Athletic had a really good article about how he just has like those crazy cross-court passes that are just like they're just rockets getting to everyone's hand. And you just see it tonight, man. He's patient, good decision making, physicality, understanding when to shoot when he's open from 3, understanding when to use his body when he's in the paint. The Knicks when they need to stop the bleeding. This is the type of stuff that you need to see from your all-star, man, and that has given me confidence to finish off the final half of this season. I really enjoyed his performance tonight. What say you about our guy Julius?
Man, he's playing all NBA, type of basketball again, which it's really fun to watch. And he's not taking, we've been so we're so used to Julius kind of playing like that, sometimes, that spin. Remember we're so used to that spin move, he's
Mhm.
doing that and like, he does that a few times a game and all that. And we're not seeing a lot of that. We're seeing a very, well-rounded Julius Randle, and it reminds me a lot of, the 2020 year, the COVID year, the top 4 seed year, and it just made a better version. And a lot of us probably thought we would never see this Julius Randle again. Maybe, we see him playing good, but not to this level again. I thought we maybe thought that was it. We saw the best version a couple of years ago, and we're seeing it totally different. He's having fun out there too. That alley oop they had, he's having fun, man. And it's just, we're seeing, a different level of Julius, and it's really funny. Six says passing and all that. Like, it's not just the passing; it's like the velocity of his passes that are accurate too. To me, that's just as impressive as anything. Like that he's able to just make some accurate passes from across the court and all that, and like fastballs, 95-mile-per-hour fastballs to the other side and all that. He's been doing that on the regular, this season, but he just he's being the leader of this team, and that's what we needed from him. And it's been really impressive, man. He's playing at an all NBA type of level, and that's a big reason why we've won 5 in a row. So he's been doing his thing. I call him Hoopius. I got a little group. I call him Hoopius. Hoopius Randle, because he's just been a hooper. And I'm just going to put the hooper. So every time he balls out, I'm calling him Hoopius.
Hoopius Randle. All right. And look, through these past 5 games, right? You talked about the 5-game winning streak. The Josh Hart era still undefeated. Okay. Well, you know what? You just got to keep it rolling, especially with Julius Randle. Over the last 5 games for Mr. Randle himself, right? He is averaging 50% from the field, 38% from 3 on 10 attempts per game, by the way, from 3. Shooting 91% at the free throw line, averaging 8 rebounds, 3 assists. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, and I would definitely agree that this is all NBA level once again that you're getting from Julius Randle. But through these 5 games, he's been so critical, man, and it's good to see him. Good to see him back on track and right on cue. All right, right on cue. Even though CP's not here, CP went to the Garden tonight to go watch this game live. We have Mr. Friday Night Knicks himself, Robert Randolph, with the $5 super chat saying, King Julius. If only CP were here right now, so that way he could see this super chat and give his thoughts. And yeah, JJ. Shout out to JJ in the chat. Randall's defense on Brandon Ingram. Yo, Brandon Ingram, he's missed a lot of the season. I think he's played 28, 29 some odd games. I think that's been the number for Ingram right now, but he didn't look good. Randall was locking him up.
They were flat.
They looked
flat. They looked flat. That whole team was flat. Like they looked like they quit. They looked like they really quit. They did not try. Like I said, in the third quarter, a little bit, you saw a little bit, but for the most part, they were flat this whole game. Like they just did not bring any effort. I mean, the only one who I felt like was really giving it was like Josh Richardson. It felt like he was just trying to do a lot there. But other than that, like they were flat. And without Zion, we talked about this before we started. Like it's rough. It's been rough without Zion.
Man, it is difficult.
They fell off a cliff. They fell off a cliff. They went from 4 seed, I think, a 3 or 4 seed till what I think they're 7th or 8th right now, or even lower. They're just it's rough out there in New Orleans right now without Zion.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you see what happens. We talked about with 80 for the Pelicans game of the week, right? And this was a team that was second in the West back in December, and now it's just that's not where they are right now. But this is not the Pelicans. We're talking about the Knicks. All right, so let's stick on the Knicks. Let's talk about the guy that's been getting a lot of heat the season. He's been up and down, left and right. He's just been so inconsistent. But tonight, talk about a solid overall performance for one, Mr. Broadway Barrett. Okay, RJ within 29 minutes tonight got you 25 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, 5 for 5 from the free throw line, 4 for 7 from downtown. 8 for 13 from the field. All right. 8 for 13 from the field. RJ, bouncing back, all right? Especially since he's had such a crazy season, man. We've seen the lack of defense. We've seen the offense being consistent. We've seen him have the blinders on. I mean, even tonight, there were some passes. There were some moments where I'm like, all right, man, you could have made the pass instead of just dribbling around and holding out for too long. But I thought this was an overall solid performance for RJ Barrett. And hopefully after this game, we can see him continue to build off of this, because we're going to need him down the stretch of not only the regular season, but we're talking playoffs. Because look, Chris, you mentioned at the top of the show, Miami Heat lost to the Charlotte Hornets. All right, we're looking at the Brooklyn Nets right now. All right, I'm like my guy JD right now. I'm looking at the scoreboard. I'm scoreboard watching to see if this team, how high this team can get. JD's, I think 5 is where this team's going to end up. JD's talking 4, but right now I'm looking at it, and if you're thinking about moving up, you're going to need that third guy, Mr. RJ Barrett, Star J to some of them, okay? And he's been getting a lot of heat, and rightfully so. Yes. He's not been consistent. But for a game like tonight, this is what you need to see from the guy who you just extended, all right? And who is considered one of your big 3 for this team. So I like the performance from RJ. Obviously, I'd still like the defense to still get up there. He still didn't close out tonight. All right. You'd see they still running with the second unit. Obviously, that's been the case this entire season. But you just see that Tibbs wants to go with a lineup, especially towards the end of the second, end of the fourth, that he wants a more defensive-oriented lineup. Still have another ball handler out there, Emmanuel quickly next to Jalen Brunson. And look, if this is what you're getting from RJ, you need that defense. I don't think it matters. I don't think anyone should, I know players have their egos that they want to finish games, but as long as you're winning, it doesn't really matter. How did you feel about RJ's performance tonight?
I loved it. He felt confident, hit those threes early on and got it. But to me, his playmaking was, to me, the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway from this. 7 assists. I don't remember the last time he had a 7-assist game and all that. And, I've seen a lot of his playmaking, especially going back to Duke and all that. And I always felt like he had, the ability to at least be a good secondary playmaker and all that. And he showed it today. He definitely showed that today. So, along with the shooting and all that, this is the game he needed. He needed a game like this to get his confidence going. Like I said, it's been a little bit, rough a little bit lately for RJ and all that, but this is the type of game he needed to get his confidence back and all that. And I know Zion wasn't playing, but Zion was there. That's his guy and all that. So he's always trying to, to have a good performance when Zion's in the building and all that. So, good performance. And like I said, the 7 assists was huge and all that, because, some really good passes and all that, finding guys open and all that. So RJ needed this, especially, hitting some of those big threes and all that, just get the confidence going and all that. I think he hit all his free throws, right? 5 or 6, 5 or 6, 6, 5 from the free throw line. So, this is exactly what you need from him. Exactly what you need from him. So, I was really impressed with RJ this game. One of the better games he's had this season.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the better games he's had indeed. And look, it hasn't been great. Hopefully, like I say, he can build off of this. But the question I got right now, and shout out to Oscar De Leon with the $2 super chat. He wants to know where's the RJ slander at? All right. And hashtag Tibbs Hive. All right. So he's showing his support for Tibbs and asking where all the RJ games at tonight. Because, typically it's when RJ has a bad night, it is loud. They are loud and proud. But tonight, it's a little quiet. It's a little quiet on the RJ hate. And rightfully so, because he did have a good night. Okay.
Exactly.
He had a good night. He's a young guy. I know everyone's tired of hearing excuses. He's a young guy. Okay. But this is the roller coaster ride of a young player. I want to see more consistency too.
Of course.
Hey, I'll take. You got to go with the ebbs and the flows of watching guys develop.
Exactly. But we got the win. That's the most important part.
Man. You got to take the win. Got to take the win. Let's talk about Jalen Brunson though, because it seems like he's still shaking off the rust after coming out of All-Star break. He didn't really shoot efficiently tonight. All right, he went 5 for 13. Went 3 for 7 from downtown, 7 for 9 from the free throw line. He was able to use his physicality and his footwork to get to the line, and he had his 5 assists and 20 points, and his 2 rebounds. It was a solid night for Jalen Brunson. He was doing things just to make sure that he was able to put up points. Like I said, using that physicality. But it seems like after the All-Star break, he's just got to get his rhythm back. I'm not too worried about it. especially when you're seeing Julius Randle and you're having a guy like RJ just perform. This is the type of thing that you want to see from this team, where if you don't have it from one of your top two guns, that you can get someone to pick it up from somewhere else. So good team effort tonight. And like I said, even with the bench, you talk about Josh Hart, who gives you that impact, as well as Emmanuel quickly. And look, we got to talk about Money Mitch too, but I know Cody Glock is somewhere out there. He wants to talk about his guy Mitchy. All right, Cody, I hope you're listening. I hope you're ready to call in, because we're going to hear more about Mitchy with his double tonight. But look, I'm looking at Jalen Brunson. Like, it's just going to take a little bit of time to get back into rhythm. What are your thoughts on him so far?
Yeah, no, solid performance. Like I said, everybody else stepped up. So, you didn't need him to go, drop another 30-point game and all that. Like I said, coming back from All-Star break, he's still a little nicked up and all that. But, Hart stepped up quickly. RJ, Julius, you got enough production from a lot of people. And the Pelicans just not showing up to help too. So, you didn't need much from him. So, nice, quiet 20 points and all that. And so, I'm not worried at all with Jalen. Solid performance. So like I said, the Pelicans didn't show up, so that helped a lot and all that. So and his teammates picked him up and all that. So no worries there. He's gonna be all right.
All right, and then gotta talk about Mitch, man, because second game coming back. All right, goes 100% from the field, 5 for 5, gets you 13 rebounds. 3 of them are offensive rebounds. 11 points, 1 block, 1 for 2 from the free throw line. 2 double doubles, back to back out off of injury. And you see the impact that he comes back, man. You see, like, Knicks were able to survive. They went 8-6 without him. He's back now. We're continuing this winning streak. It's at 5, and you just see that when he's here, man, opponents are afraid to attack the paint.
Yeah.
Opponents are afraid to attack the paint. The pick and roll is defended much better. It's just different having Mitch, man. And he's going to make a big difference down the stretch of this season going into the playoffs, because you need that rim protection, man. And you just see through how he's improved so much from his time being a Knick. This season, he's really like, you could talk about him being one of the top 4 impactful players on this team. Obviously, it's Randle and Brunson. I wrote an article for KnicksFanTV.com where I said it's Emmanuel quickly number 3, just because of the consistency, especially on offense and defense. But I put Mitch right there, man. He's right up there with that defensive impact. That rim running, the second chance opportunities. You need him, and you see like when you get him back, no, it's hard for opposing teams to get in here. And if you're having the Knicks hit their shots, because they shot 51% from the field tonight, 40% from 3, and then you have a guy who can just easily get putbacks, you're not giving opponents any chance to come score in here, and that is due to Mitchell Robinson. So definitely needed. Awesome performance. Glad to see that he's looking good, playing 28 minutes tonight, man. Seems like he hasn't missed a beat. What are your thoughts on Mitch?
We needed him back. I know there's people like, oh, we don't need him back and all. I was like, no, we need him back. And it just makes everyone's game easier, because, when Julius Randle collapses and Jalen Brunson collapses, RJ collapses, it's just so much easier to, be able to, instead of forcing a shot and at the rim, you just dive, wrap around, give it to Mitch, and he finishes it off, or give a little oop, to him. We got 3 guys today with 5+ assists. Brunson, Randle, and RJ all had 5+ assists. I mean, that's great. That means the ball is moving, and like I said, easy buckets. Easy buckets. That's the name of the game. You want to get easy buckets, and he helps that tremendously. So him back in the lineup is huge. He's going to, Valanciunas is someone, Valanciunas had him a little bit, on some post-ups and all that. But for the most part, to able to just make Valanciunas work in the post and all that, and not make it easy for guys like in Brandon Ingram, that's a long team you're playing. They got a bunch of guys with wingspans are like 9'12", So to make it difficult on those guys, that's really impactful. And that's why you need Mitch in there. So I'm happy he's back and all that. So it's going to be, he's an impactful player. Very impactful player, and is just going to help us down the stretch, making this playoff push. So so happy he's back in the lineup.
Absolutely. And let's Daniel, let's refresh. Thank you everyone for tuning for Knicks Fan Post Game Live. It is me, your host, Alex Gutierrez, and with me on the other side is Chris LeBron. This show is sponsored by Manscaped and PrizePicks. Knicks defeat the Pelicans in Madison Square Garden 128-106. Make sure to hit us up on the Discord, man. All right, we're taking calls strictly through the Discord tonight. Make sure to download the app. TM was so gracious enough to have it pinned in the chat. So if you're tuning in live right now, you got to figure out where to get to. The link is right there. But we're taking calls strictly from the Discord tonight. And you know what? We're going to go to our first caller of the night, Jay from East New York. So Jay, what's going on, my man? How you feeling today? How you feeling after this win?
Alex, Chris, man, I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty much like amped this whole game. I'm live tweeting, like I'm shouting and all of that. My son is jumping around because he see me excited. Like this is just a good win as a Knicks fan. You know, no narratives, no politics, just as a Knicks fan. This was a good win. We came out and we moved them guys right on out the way immediately. They didn't stand a chance. We had the game from the first to the fourth. There's no complaints here. I'm happy. This was a good win for the Knicks. The one thing that I do want to point out, Brunson might not have had a great game, but he's figuring out the pick and roll with Mitch. Mitch is very important on both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively. Like, his value showed tonight. Like, I seen it. And RJ was knocking down them shots and getting to the basket. Like, every time there's a bad game or Tibbs benches him or something like that, he always responds. And I always watch that for RJ. He's a dog. He's going to be all right. He's only 22 years old. He's going to figure it out, man. But this was just a good win, man. We moving up in the standings. I want to see Cleveland in the first round. Go Knicks.
Ooh, there we go. I like it. Want to see Cleveland in the first round. You confident that we're going to take out Cleveland?
Yes, we got their number, man. The way we played them, both games that I've seen so far, I just like our energy when we play against them. It's like we just figured them out. And plus, you know, the whole hoopla with the Donovan Mitchell trade holding the Knicks hostage, all as far as like the talking points, they held us hostage all summer, you know? So now that the dust is settled, they got something to be motivated for. Get to that 4th seed or the 5th seed and get out of that first round.
All right. Yo, I'm looking forward to. I would look forward to that playoff matchup all day. If it's against Cleveland, I think that's a really good matchup. I think we match up very well with them. You know, all right now we got one more game with them. We're 2-1 on the series right now. If we can close that one out and take that, that'd be fantastic. But shout out to Jay from East New York from calling in. Appreciate the call, my man. Yo, Chris, how you feeling, man? Who do you want? You know, we talked about scoreboard watching. We talked about all this stuff and seeing like who we want in the playoffs. You know, CP, JD, and I were talking not too long ago, and we're like, you know, if we had to, obviously Cleveland's the matchup that you want. You know, Cleveland is the team that everyone wants. That 4 or 5, the storyline's right there. Knicks didn't get Donovan Mitchell. Utah Jazz just wanted an arm and a leg. And if the Knicks, you know, I'm dreaming big right now. Dreaming big. But if for some reason you're telling me that the Knicks take down Cleveland in the first round of the playoffs, that storyline shifts, okay? That storyline shifts. And JD tweeted out, all right? He was getting mentioned, him and CP were getting mentioned on how out in Cleveland they were calling in, complaining that they shouldn't have done the trade for Donovan Mitchell. So things are getting a little interesting out there. Things are getting a little interesting. All right. So how are you feeling about that matchup? You confident about Cleveland? You confident about that matchup? You want that matchup? What are you looking at right now?
I mean, I like that matchup. I think the NBA love that matchup. Mr. Silver would love that matchup because there's so many storylines that's an intriguing matchup right there. Cleveland versus New York. I said you got the whole, you know, who's gonna get Donovan Mitchell, you know, off season and all that, and just like some of the games we've had with them and all that. That's going to be a good one. So yeah, I mean Cleveland, you know, especially if we got Mitch healthy, because they got some, you know, Jared Allen there, Mobley, they got some giants there and all that. And so, you know, we had Mitch there. I think Mitch could be able to handle his business, you know, with those two guys and all that. And, you know, Randall Mobley matchup would be fun and all. There's a lot of good matchups in that. You know, we got Garland versus Brunson and all that. Like there's some intriguing matchups in that. So I think the league would definitely love that as a first round matchup for sure. You know, and yeah, I would love, let's go. Like if that's the matchup, I'm ready to go. I feel confident that we can, you know, come out of there, you know, and advance maybe. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself, You know, well, you got me amped and all that, but that would be intriguing. That would be a matchup that would be very fun for a first round matchup for sure.
Man, look, I'm amped. Knicks are on a 5-game winning streak. I've jumped out the window multiple times. I'm getting close to jumping out the window again.
You got me wanting Philly right now. I'm like, yo, let's get Philly. Philly first round. Let's go.
Right. I want to know in the chat. Who in the chat is jumping out the window tonight after this win? Wire to wire win. Defeat the New Orleans Pelicans. We won both games back to back. Who's jumping out the window tonight? Let me see some window emojis if you're jumping out the window tonight in the chat, all right? And we got a super chat too. We got a super chat, $10 super chat from the legend himself, Chuck D. $10 super chat, and it says shout out to Chuck D. Teams are looking less tight than us right now. NBA looks more like a collection of stars for marketing than teams looking to win. Chemistry and coaching, Alex and Chris, is what those 70 teams were about. Those are facts. Those are straight facts. Chris, first of all, actually, before let's do it. Throw a hashtag PE into the chat right now. Salute to Chuck D. And, when I was seeing the award ceremony, or not even the award ceremony, but the recognition for that team, I always thought about my dad, My dad always talked about those teams, those 70 teams, watching Walt, Clyde Frazier, Willis Reed, Dave DeBusschere, and all of them, and talk about that teamwork to go win those championships, man. And look, Chuck's got it right. Has hit it right at the head, man. Like you need the chemistry, you need the teamwork, and we talked about that with Antonio Daniels too. Like good teams, like it's very rare for a lot of teams to actually genuinely like each other and stuff like that. And you just hear the camaraderie with this team right now. You see what Jalen Brunson brings, keeping the togetherness. See how everyone's just happy. Obviously, winning makes it 10 times better. When you're winning and things are clicking, and you can buy into what the coach is preaching. So it's all good right now. But seeing this team come together, like, look, we're talking about they had an 8-game winning streak at one point during the middle of the season, all right, when things were in turmoil. Now they're on a 5-game winning streak, all right, and they're continuing it after the All-Star break. They were rusty against the Washington Wizards, but they shook off that rust, all right, and then they were able to come back from trailing, defeat the Wizards, and then come into this one. Look, it's not like there's no team that's going to be there's trap games. There's nothing.
Yes.
There's nothing easy for anybody out here. Okay, there's talent on a lot of these teams, but the fact that the Knicks came here in on a second night of a back-to-back and were able to put up a wire-to-wire win, that's inspiring, man. Obviously, Monday that game circled against Boston home. Look, if we beat Boston again, man, that window is not going to be big enough for me to jump out of. All right.
No, that's going to be the game of games for us. That's going to be because obviously, I think they just beat Philly too, right? Boston. So like they're on top of the East right now, and that's going to be a big test for us. A big test for us. I'm looking forward to that. But like you mentioned before, with like the team unity, the team likes each other. Like even when Derrick Rose, everybody, you see everyone on the bench, like, telling the fans to go, chant for Derrick Rose to get in the game. And even like Evan Fournier is dapping up people and knowing, he's not going to play and all that. And like, he could have handled his situation very differently, and for good reason, he has reasons, why he think he should be playing, but he's being the ultimate pro. Derrick Rose, he just his first time playing since the new year, he could have his reasons why he could be pouting and all that, but, he's embraced his teammates and all. He's been the ultimate pro and all that. So like, you see Julius Randle's having fun and all that. So when the team is vibing like that, like that's the most underrated aspect of a team, a good team. It's just a team just getting along, vibing with each other, and you see that, like the jumping on each other, like, especially like I mentioned before with the alley oop. Everybody just jumping on each other. That was fun. That was I even tweeted. I was like, "That's a fun moment."
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, like they're having fun. Even Tibbs, you see him smiling, all that. Derek getting the game, like So right now we're vibing right now, and that's the good thing. Because there's other teams right now that aren't. They don't like each other, or we're hearing, they're just not rocking with each other, or they just, they're fumbling right now. Team we just played. We thought they were going to be, better, and they seem like they got a little turmoil. So teams vibe right now, and that's a beautiful thing right now. And just enjoy it. We just got to enjoy it. We just got to enjoy it. 100%. Just got to enjoy the ride.
Gotta enjoy the ride. Gotta enjoy the ride, indeed. But let's get back to the Discord. Let's take some more calls. And look, we got the Mitchell Robinson Hive member himself. We got the president right here. We got Cody Glock on the chat in the Discord with us right now. Cody, how you feeling, man? Your boy Mitchy put up another double. What's going on, Cody?
Chris, Alex, you know why I'm here. And we got this out of the way. Shout out Manscaped. I average 0 turnovers with Manscaped. I definitely take care of my ball. So this is what's going on right now tonight. You wasn't here yesterday. You wasn't here, Alex. Let me tell you something about somebody special. Really special. Let me tell you something. Chris, you too. Let me tell you something about Mitchy. You see, Mitchy? Never in his life was he ever a snitchy. He's not gonna. So listen, this is what I'm gonna tell you right now. Another double for Mitchy tonight. Hand damn near shredded to pieces. I know this is a family show. Another double tonight. People are saying Mitchy is this, Mitchy is that. Put some respect on Mitchy's name. I don't want to hear no Mitchy slander. Another point for you guys. All our main guys, all our dogs that we have in the fight, all was in double digits tonight. I'm so proud of the Knicks tonight. You know, the only reason I was slandering RJ Barrett is because we didn't have somebody like Josh Hart to pick up the slack where he was lacking, you know. He had to perform. He had to be Broadway Barrett, you know. But he doesn't have to do that. And look what he does. Come out with a 7-assist game. I'm proud of the young boy, man. That's my little thumb, man. Put some respect on my little thumb, man. Yo, that's my heart, yo. It's my baby boy. So I'm going to end off like this, man. Straight. I'm going to end off like this, man. Salute to Nikki Pipes. Salute to the Rhyme Animal Chuck D. Salute to Core Mega. I'm out. Mitchy. Big Mitchy.
Oh my goodness. And that was none other than Cody Glock himself. You know we had to get the Mitchy Hive represented in here, man. And Mitchy ain't no snitch according to Cody. You know what I mean? So and look,
I'm crying, bro.
All right. Mitch was out there doing his thing, double once again. He's important, man. Absolutely important to this team.
He's vital. Like I was hearing people saying, "Wow, we don't need him. We could go with Jericho." And I was like, "Nah. We need Mitch. We need Mitchy back. We need Mitchy back badly. And Mitchy is back, and he's showing his impact. And you know, we're seeing it. So yeah, I'm happy Mitchy's back."
But Cody pointed out a very important thing. All the dogs, you know, they mentioned that's obviously it's Randall, Brunson, RJ, Mitch. You get Quickly, Josh Hart. They were all in double figures tonight. You know what I mean? They were all in double figures. Quentin Grimes got 9 points, just a point shy of getting, you know, being in that double figure as well. But you talk about team contribution right here. This is what good teams have, man. They have depth. They have the ability to score, play good defense. Josh Hart's addition. I mean, what more can we say about Josh Hart? I mean, the fact that he's a one-man fast break, his defense is never wavering, man. The intensity, he's diving on the floor to get the basketball. All right, he's sacrificing his body, heart and soul. Absolutely, when you talk about it, that's his type of mentality. That, like, whoo. Every time he steps on the court, man, I have no fear that this man is going to be playing defense. I have no fear. I actually have more confidence that I'm like, we're about to get a turnover, and it's going to go into the Knicks' favor. You know what I mean?
Alex, he's a winner. It's that simple. You're getting winning players. You got Brunson. This guy's a 2-time national champion. He goes to Dallas and wins and just gets better. Same thing with Josh Hart, national champion. Everywhere he goes, the team gets better. He's just a winner. You need guys like this on your team. And that's what we're trying to establish in New York. Like, we've been losers for how long? Like, we had to change the culture. We have to get winning guys who know how to win, to teach the young guys how to win. And this is what Josh Hart's doing. He's on the court. He's doing little things and all that. Just showing guys how to win basketball games and how to win in the league. And that's why you need guys like that on your team. That's why he's always coveted by teams. That's why teams always want Josh Hart. He's just going to win. And that's what he's that's why he's here. He's just gonna show guys how to win basketball games. So I love Josh Hart.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Look, you got 2 blocks tonight. And that's the type of stuff that you want to see from a guy that when you just acquired. I mean, you trade, even though it was a lottery protected first round pick. Okay. Right. I know there's some people who are still watching out to see how Cam performs out in Portland. But when you make that type of trade and you're doing it at this part of the season, you're expecting to get some immediate impact. And he's done nothing short of that. And that's how, like, I've criticized this front office for how they've like done negotiations and stuff like that. But when you add a piece like that and you're starting to see it translate to like a 5-game winning streak, and you could say, we need more, there's still, we got 20 games left and all that. And I understand that point. I understand that completely. I totally get that. But when you start to see, like tonight, he gives you 2 blocks. Shout out to Daniel for all these Tibbs memes, man. I love it. I love it. But when you see Josh Hart just like coming out into the court and giving that type of effort and making that type of impact, he's closing games for you. He's just making it difficult. He's just making it difficult for the opposing team. Like that's what you're looking for, especially when you have a head coach for Tom Thibodeau. And that's something that I've always talked about. You want to get guys that fit what your coach does. That's why when you see like the roster construction last season, when you get someone like Evan Fournier and a Kemba Walker backcourt, it didn't make, like, I get the idea. We needed more shot creation. We're looking for a point guard. I get all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like, he made switches and all that type of stuff because he didn't have the players that he needed at that moment. Even though I still wanted to see the kids play, he didn't have someone like a Josh Hart to be impactful immediately and play that role that he wanted. He still should have played quickly. He still should have played Grimes, all those kids to get them minutes because they needed to get that valuable experience. All right? Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But at the same time, you also need guys who are ready to make an impact. And it's also great to see that these young guys are taking another step in their development. Grimes just having that quick step, his passing chops, ability to finish around the rim. It's a little bit of a shooting funk, but he'll come around. Stuff like that. You see Quickly just being a two-way player right now. Mitch has improved. You gotta give some kudos to what's going on here because, yes, the players in the off season put in a lot of the work to get better for the following season, but the coach also has to know how to put them in position to succeed. It isn't always perfect with Tibbs, but when you see stuff like this, you're starting to see how things translate. All right,
100%.
That's all I can say. But let's move on to a new segment. Let's look at this thing by the numbers. So let's pull up how the team stats and see how this team did. Because tonight, man, just a solid overall good effort by the team. And if my screen would load, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. All right, here we go. When we're starting to look at these numbers, obviously the Knicks shot 51% from the field tonight. They shot 83% from a free throw line. They were shooting 40% from downtown. Those are great shooting numbers to begin with. They won the rebound battle 54-39. You start looking at the points in the paint, it was pretty even. You saw 44 for the Knicks, 46 for the Pelicans. And my favorite number is always the largest lead. The largest lead was 32. So overall, it was a very good team effort, But the thing that I look at specifically is that where is it? Fast break points. Knicks got 13. They're moving since the acquisition of Josh Hart, and I need to look further into this. Knicks are actually pushing the pace a little bit more. Got 13 points out in transition. That was good. Ball security was a little haywire today. We had 19 total turnovers. Not great to the Pelicans 7. But overall, the Knicks somehow, even with having that many turnovers, man, especially in the third quarter, they found a way to win. So for me, those are some of the numbers that I'm looking at from this team's from the team's overall statistics. What about you?
I think to me, my favorite one is that the Pelicans' biggest lead was 0. They just, like I said, we just dominated from the jump. Like 0-0 was the only time they had a chance in this game. And even that, it was questionable because they didn't show up. But I mean, just the Knicks just did everything. They just out hustled. They did everything against New Orleans. And like I said, even the third quarter got a little close, but they had a big enough lead where like, okay, you can get, play a little off and all that. It happens in this league. It's the game. NBA is a game of runs and all that. We know that, so it happens. But if you put a big enough lead and then they wound up pushing the gas pedal and getting back up and dominating the rest of this game. But like I said, they took advantage of the team that just came out flat, and that's great. But like I said, out rebounding them by 15, all that, that's impression. They at one point I think they only hit like 2 threes, or 1 or 2 threes in the first half and all that, and then finished just with 8, 20, 21%, whatever that was. So holding a team under 40% from the field, under 21% from the 3-point line, out rebounding them by 15. That's a good thing. That's usually a sign, that you're gonna win the game, handily. So I know the turnovers kill a little, but like I said, it happens. We got a little lax days going to third quarter and all that, but we had a big enough lead that you were able to overcome that. So but yeah, out rebounding, out everything, they did everything perfect today. It is as perfect as a game you could possibly ask for.
Absolutely. Look, and I think the big thing that you can look from this, and that's a big difference, is that the Knicks hit 19 3-pointers to the Pelicans 8. Now, I thought the Knicks defense was solid tonight. There's still some open looks that they gave to the Pelicans. It wasn't completely perfect 3-point defense. Pelicans were partially cold, but also the Knicks were playing some decent defense on the perimeter as well. But for a team to only make 8 3-pointers in today's NBA, wow, that is drastic. But hey, that is By the Numbers, which is brought to you by our sponsor, PrizePicks. And look, for everyone out there, make sure to download the app PrizePicks. It's fun, all right. It's a lot of fun. CP, JD, myself, Chris, we all use the app just to put in some friendly fantasy sports competition, And the good thing about it is that it's you against the house. That's it. It's not you against anybody else. It's you against the house. You get to choose 2 to 6 players, and if they score more or less than the PrizePicks projection, you can win up to 25% of your money. All right. Like I said, you're not competing against anybody else. It's you versus PrizePicks. And you can choose from any sports, whether it's football. It's not football season anymore, but it could be men's college basketball, women's college basketball, NBA, baseball seasons around the corner. You got NHL. There's so many things that you can choose to play some money on, and then you can make these entries within 60 seconds or less. It's that easy, safe and fast withdrawals. And look, tonight, let me tell you how I did tonight. For me, I chose 6. I chose 6 options. All right. First one I chose was Julius Randle, scoring more than 25.5 points. He did that. He got me 28 tonight. I then went with Brandon Ingram to score more than 24.5 points. He didn't hit on that. I thought this would be a closer game, but hey, I'll gladly take a Knicks wire-to-wire win in a blowout. And then I chose Mitchell Robinson more for 8 rebounds. He ended the game with 13. I then also took Nikola Jokic because he's usually been consistent, man. He's usually consistent when you take him for points, rebounds, assists to go more than 47.5. Unfortunately, he ended up with 31. And I also took Tyrese Halliburton for less than 2.5 made 3-pointers, and I hit on that. So I'm 3 for 6 right now. And then I had to call in to make this one special, all right? This one was, you didn't see it, but you had to have the connections in order to do this, okay? I chose CP the franchise to go less than 0.5 free throws, all right? And if anyone watched, he missed. So I hit on that tonight as well. So you know what I did? I hit on 4 of my 6 bets, and I had to play. That was a very special call I had to make, man, to get that one. I knew. I was like, yo, look. Look, guys, our sponsors, help me out here, all right? Help me out. CP's going to be doing some free throws tonight. Put it at half, all right? Just put it at half, all right? Just give me the win, all right? Got to make it look good for myself. And they're like, all right, we got you. We got you. They're like, are you sure he's not going to make it? I was like, I got you. Don't worry. He's 1 for 5. We did it. Exclusive bet for me, for you guys, the Stratocaster. We got it in there. Overall, win 4 for 6. Thanks, CP. I really appreciate your help, man. You made it that much better for me.
Somebody
guys,
said he's 1 of 5 from the free throw line this year at the
1 of 5.
Garden.
1 of
Oh
5.
man,
1 of 5 from the free throw line.
you can't play him late in the stretch. You can't play him late in the
Look, man,
game. You can't play
got to
him.
put the hat around. Got to do something. But hey, them's the break sometimes. So for everyone out there, make sure to download the app or go to the website PrizePicks.com. You can download the app. Sign up for free. It's easy, and they will match for your first deposit up to 100%. So if you put up to $100, 100% match. So if you put in $100, they'll match $100. If you want to put in 50, they'll also match 50, but only on your first time. And make sure to use the promo code KFTV. All right. Remember, use KFTV promo code when doing that. And shout out to CP once again for helping me on the free throw stuff, man. That really, man, just great stuff. Great stuff overall. Great stuff overall. All right. Let's get back to this, man. Let's get back to the Discord. Let's take another call over here. We got Keion, the curator, all right, coming in to talk with us right now. So Keion, hold on one second. Man, sometimes my mouse acts a little funny. I don't know what's going on right now. Why are you being difficult? Talking to my mouse. Just talking to the mouse. All right, so we got Keion, the curator, on with us. Keion, man, what's going on? Keion, are you there?
Keion, come on, man.
Going once.
Hey, can you hear me?
Ah, there he is. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Sorry about that, boys. What's
good,
up? Thumbs up for the squad. Appreciate you guys for holding down the show with CP being at the game tonight.
Appreciate it.
For sure, man. Wanted to be super quick with this. Just wanted to call in, bask in the moment. 5-game win streak. Again, been an interesting season, but to say we're very close to having 2 winning seasons in the past 3 seasons after being a poverty franchise for a significant portion of my 20 years of watching the team. It's just great to be a part of watching this transition potentially to being a quality franchise with stability, given the sort of like culture that's being, I think, being sort of built from the top, like it's going top down from Leon Rose to our head coach, Tom Thibodeau, to even like someone like Johnny Bryant, I think probably imparting some of his own personality and taking some of our head coach with him and probably going to lead the charge in terms of taking over the team at some point. But man, like, bruh, it's been, again, interesting season, but to see like things finally sort of falling into place. RJ finally like finding a groove of some sort and being able to play defense on both being able to play on both sides of the ball, like seeing competitive defense out of RJ after not seeing it for like 10-ish games. And I'm probably underselling it because I'm RJ Barrett fan for sure. Julius with over 70 points in the last 2 games, monster. After having the season he had last year, and me being pretty much off the Julius Randle bandwagon. And I was one of those people who was like, I like him at $69 million for 3 years, just because I had been watching him since his sophomore year. So like to see it all falling into place, like from Josh Hart to quickly to Brunson, like, man, I just want to take it in for a moment and just ground the experience before we jump out the window. Because if we beat Boston, I'm out the window. But just for this moment, I want to take it in. 5 wins. 5 wins. Like,
Keion,
we're
I gotta ask
so
you
close.
I gotta ask you. How are you feeling? Are you feeling confident about this team? Do you want to see the Cavs in the playoffs? Is that the matchup you want? Is that what you're dreaming of?
Bro, I'm just like, if this team is firing on all cylinders, I'm not afraid of nobody, bro. Like, I'm not like this team already has, like, they have that dog in them. Like, and Julius has it in there. That's why I liked him in the first place. But like, it's the up and down with Julius. It's like a toxic relationship sometimes. But to have a quiet, confident leader like Brunson and a true dog in like leading the charge in terms of like modeling the behavior of like what that means in terms of play in Josh Hart. Like, we have pieces and we have weapons on this team. And I don't even think we've like reached 60% of the potential of like what the team can be when we're like running a modern, like a true modern offense. and a scheme that's a little more adaptive. But like again, like just given that I'm starting to see like we're on a 5-game winning streak and we're not, we're like dominating teams oddly enough. Like to come back from 19 and really sort of like, I mean, yes, of course it was a cardiac Knicks sort of situation. I know it got tied late into the game, but at no point once we like took that lead away, like no point did I really feel like we weren't gonna find a way to win that game or like find a way to make it one of those games where, yeah, if you like squeak out a win, it's one of those ones where you're like, all right, it happens. It happens to every team. Mm-hmm. And like to see that performance and to see it with some consistency in the past 5 games, and again to start seeing other things falling into place. Jalen Brunson has had 2 pretty like mediocre games back to back, but look at the performances that we're getting out of it, like in terms of a whole team effort. And again, like I want to give Julius his flowers, like over 70 points in 2 games coming out of the All-Star break. Lots of hate from the All-Star, like lots of hate. I get it. Like he's not a flashy guy. I get it. But he's a dog. He's an engine. And he's like, this man didn't have a 3 when he came into the league. Look at what he's doing now. Like, bruh, I want to bask in it for a moment before I jump out the window. But if we beat Boston, like, I promise you, I'll be on the line and I'll be out the window with y'all. But right now, I just want to take it in. So I appreciate y'all taking my call, and have a good rest of your night. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, bro.
Keion. Appreciate it, man. That was Keion on the call. Rate that call in the chat. 1 being facts. 5 being facts, 1 being trash. I want to know how you all feel in the call. Where are you all right now? Are you basking in the moment? Are you loving what you're seeing from your New York Knicks? Are you still cautiously optimistic? Are you not believing what you're seeing? Give me a rating. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. Let me know what you think of the chat right now. Man. I like that call,
optimism,
man.
Alex. A lot of optimism.
Optimism through the roof right now, man. Optimism through the roof.
And for good reason. I don't blame. Yeah, I don't blame it. You just like the way they're playing good. It's not like, they squeaked this one out or no, they're like I said, some dominant wins and all that, good comeback wins. You should feel good about this. You should really feel good about this and to be enjoying this right now.
Absolutely. And we should be feeling good about this. But I got a super chat from Young Kobe. Shout out to Young Kobe. $10 super chat. He asked, is Monday a statement to the league? Is Monday's game a statement to the league? Or is it too early? For me, I think it's a statement to the league. I think if you go out and beat Boston again, and now we're not even talking, like they have Marcus Smart back, all right? If it's 2 fully healthy teams and you're going at it and the Knicks beat the Celtics and it's pretty convincing, you talk about the number 1 team in the East right now. If you can go out there and take a 2-1 lead on the series, you're putting the league on notice. And I think, but you know what? The thing is that, does the league want to take notice? That's the thing. Do they want to be like, oh, the Knicks are up and coming, or they want to just, be like, it's the Knicks, nice flash in the pan, whatever. But I think if they do beat the Celtics, and if it's very convincing, and it doesn't have to be like a blowout, but if it's like pretty convincing where you see for most of the game, it's a solid performance from all of our guys. You get like little turnovers, good ball movement, everyone knocking down quality shots, not just chucking. And it's convincing, you're putting the league on notice. I would have to say that you're putting the league on notice. It's not only a statement game, once again, like the Knicks have had statement games throughout the season, okay? When they beat the Celtics, when they beat the Cavs, all right, you beat the 76ers, all right, and you did that without Mitch, all right? Keep in mind, you did that without Mitch. Now you're a fully healthy team. Talk about another fully healthy team. You're talking about the final stretch of the regular season. Teams are trying to lock up positioning. These are important games, all right? Pretty sure when I last checked Tankathon, Knicks have a top 10 toughness when it comes to the remaining schedule. So if you do that, all right, I think you're putting the league on notice. What say you, Chris?
I think so too, because look at last time we played them, at Boston, we didn't have Mitch. Now, I know they didn't have Marcus Smart, but we didn't have Mitch, and that game went into overtime. And that easily, so like, they can't hear about the complaining like, oh, we didn't have Mitch. I mean, didn't have Marcus Smart because we didn't have Mitch and all that. So, we're going to this one. This is like it's not because there's only 20 games left in the season around that. We're at the crunch point in the season. So like we beat Boston. That's like okay. Now we got to take the Knicks. We got to look at the Knicks right now and be like, okay, is this a team we should be, talking about more and all that? So this is a big game and a big game for New York. So, it's, I can imagine how it's going to be on here, after the game and all that, with a win, and all that. It's going to be crazy and all that but this is a big win. You're playing a team they're the top dogs. They're the top dogs out east. They are the benchmark. They are the defending Eastern Conference champions. And if you come away beating them, that's big. That's big. Especially talking about both teams are healthy, because Smart and Mitch didn't play last game. They both, they're going to be playing. So, everyone's going to be fully loaded. Both teams got all their arsenal. We're going to be ready to go. They're going to be ready to go. Big game. It's going to have playoff atmosphere. Too. That's gonna be a playoff atmosphere type game. Like it's gonna be a big, rival Boston, New York. I mean the storylines alone right there, man. That's a big game. So if we can come our way with a W there, I think I know we don't get the respect nationally that we maybe should get. And obviously things happen and all that. We haven't been great, but this could be that moment where people be like, hey, okay. We got to take Julius Randle more serious. We got to Brunson, Mitch, all that. We got to take this Knick team serious. And then they got hoopers out there. So this is a big game. Big. I think the biggest game so far of the season.
Absolutely.
By far.
Look, and it's going to be the third game of the 4-game series of this season, right? So, like I said, if they win, you take a lead. Not saying you win it, but you're taking a lead up 2-1. But I would expect that these guys, home court, I'm talking about the Knicks, right? I would expect, like you talking about, there's storylines going into this game. You talk about Jalen Brunson, being snubbed from the All-Star game, Julius Randle getting his criticism, being iced out and whatnot. The jokes about him being in the 3-point competition and all that. You got everyone who's like now quickly starting to get some recognition for being a six-man, right?
Yeah.
All right. So all these guys, like, there's a lot to prove right now. There's a lot to prove for them right now. Obviously, there's a lot more games, but this game right now, you're talking about after All-Star break, 5-game winning streak. They want to keep that streak going. And you're looking at Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown on the other side. I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot for them to be looking at.
Robert Williams versus Mitch is going to be fun. Seeing because they're very similar type players too. So we'll see. How that matchup goes. It's like I said. RJ, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Randall. Because right now Tatum's in that MVP race. Randall be like, hey, this could be a game where I can, maybe get some love and all that. So same thing for Brunson and all that. So like this is a big game. This is a big game for, players individually, but as big game. Just to see, if people are gonna finally take us serious. So this is huge. This is a big game. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Absolutely, I can't wait either. But let's get back to the Discord. We got JC. SNYC on the Discord with us. JC, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you?
Good. How you doing? What's happening?
What's good, man?
Firstly, I want to put a shout out to all of you guys. I know you guys are crushing, working hard, doing your thing. I know CP's out, and I appreciate just everybody just doing their thing, So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the swag, by the way. I got 2 shirts, 2 hats from you guys recently, and
Nice.
it means a tremendous amount as a Knicks fan and as a supporter of this. Just all of us like working hard and respecting the Knicks, also working hard too. So I appreciate that. I really, really appreciate you guys and all the fans that are out there just like listening to the show and doing their thing. So I appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you too, man. And no doubt. Glad that you like the swag.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the one thing that I want to say, I have 2 sides of me. I got a downer side and I got an optimistic side. And the downer side is we ain't gonna win a championship. We're done. Come on, it is what it is. I know we have hopes to win and do our thing. And right now we are establishing a culture of solid basketball. Yesterday we were talking about. Yesterday I saw that stat about what is it? Like 90% of our shots coming from the 3-point line, free throw, or from the paint. And this is the dream of a Knicks fan in the modern era of, doing our thing. And unfortunately, this isn't. Unfortunately, this isn't.
You there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's. Sorry, my dog Charlie and my wife is coming in right now. My bad. Yeah, for sure.
So what's the good side, man? What's the good side? Because I think everyone understands that, like, this is not a championship winning team. Like, we get that, but what do you like, man? What do you like that you're seeing right now? You see you're seeing the shot selections are good. So what's the optimism? What's the optimism? Because this is a good night.
Good question. So we got some 3-and-D players. I mean, even though RJ doesn't develop into the superstar that we are thinking of, if Jalen Brunson doesn't continue this over the next couple of years, if Julius falls off the cliff again, at least we're developing a culture of winning, of respect, of hard work, representing New York City and all the BS that all of us have to go through in New York to just get things done. And I want to say that right now, it could be worse and it could be better, but I'm looking forward to the future years. And let's go. Let's LFG New York Knicks. Let's go.
All right, JC, appreciate the call, man. Thank you for calling in. Well, that was an interesting call. Appreciate the call, man. That was an interesting call. I was not expecting to go the Debbie Downer route where it's like we're not winning a championship,
Nah.
And then to go, we're building a culture just in case Julius Randle goes down the tube again. I'm like, wow, this is JC. Shout out to you, my man. Shout out you. Glad that you like the swag. Appreciate you for tuning in and supporting the channel. I need to know. everyone in the chat, rate that call because I see what he was trying to do. I get it. I get the realism. I know a lot of us are living high on cloud 9 right now, but he wants to bring a little bit of realism. I see it. It's the other side of Knicks fan where it's like, all right, there's a little bit of realism, but I get that. But on a night like tonight, where you just go wire to wire, you just defeat the Pelicans.
Yeah, right? Alex, you ever watch Major League? You ever watch Major League? You ever watch Major League and the guy in the crowd is just like, he's just a Debbie Downer. Even when the Indians are doing something good, he's just like, well, they're gonna mess it up anyway. That's the side of Knicks. There's a side of that from Knicks fans that are still that, like, no matter what happens, they're just that type of person where they just always that. Well, we're not gonna win a championship. We're not gonna do this. It's like, all right, come on now.
Okay, JC, you getting some tomatoes in the chat. I see some supporting the realism. Got ones, trash cans. It's all over the place right now.
Yeah, it's that was interesting.
Definitely. But hey, man, once again, shout out to JC. Shout out to JC. Thank you for supporting the channel. Enjoy the merch, my man. Enjoy the merch.
Exactly. Enjoy it.
And we got another super chat from Paul. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your name last name right. Nelise. We got Paul Nelise with the $5 super chat. With the league revising their schedule to add New York versus Sacramento on March 9th, we have put the league on notice. Go Knicks. Ooh. So Paul's already saying that we already have the league on notice because we're already they're already flexing some games for us and, just putting us back on like prime time and saying, hey, you got to watch this team. This team's good.
Yeah.
I think it's different, man. I think it's different, okay? Because Sacramento, they're kind of like us, man. You know
they really are.
They're like
really
they're the West Coast version of us where it's like, all right, Look at this team right now. Traded Halliburton, not saying we made a major trade, but they traded Halliburton. Everyone's like, yo, why would you make that type of deal? Why would you get Sabonis? Now you're a top team. Now you're a top team in the West. You're competing really well. Mike Brown getting another tour, being a head coach, and he's doing a good job with them. De'Aaron Fox playing well. You know what I mean? So
really well. All-star.
You look at them and you're like, all right, well, we got to put some respect on this team's name. No one's thinking about them as championship contenders, but they're playing well. And you look at the Knicks and it's the same thing. Outside of not making like a major trade, like for I guess like what you consider like a starter, even though we made a trade for Josh Hart.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at the team that's up and coming. Once again, you saw 2 seasons ago make the playoffs out of nowhere, took a step back. Now they're back to competing again. Right now they're holding the 6th spot in the Eastern Conference, and it's 2 teams on the same trajectory. I think if you beat Boston, it's a different level when you're fully healthy, a number 1 team, and now you're seeing them again for the 3rd time this season. You know what I mean? Like, 3rd time. You can make some adjustments. You understand how each team plays. I think that's a bigger statement. Although I do think that the league is recognizing the competitive play of the Knicks. I think it's just different if you beat that team again.
Yeah. No, definitely. And then you play them in, I think, on 2 games after that, because I think the Knicks have Boston, Brooklyn, Miami, then they play Boston again. So nice few stretch against some teams that either are right behind you or ahead of you in the standings there. And so the Knicks can make some statements with these next, 4 games, for sure. But like I said, Monday's definitely, the biggest right now. So, definitely some nice stretch for the New York Knicks to really prove themselves and really put them on the map. And then it's the King, where they play the Hornets. The Hornets are, we know how bad the Hornets are. Even though they, they won today and all that. They beat Miami today. They helped us out with that. Then we got the Kings and Clippers. So we got a nice stretch. We got a nice stretch coming up. So it's going to be interesting. But Monday is obviously a big one.
All right. Now we got 1,300 in the watching us live right now. So salute to all of Knicks Nation tuning in right now, or even if you're an NBA fan, because we got some NBA fans that just tune in. Salute to all of you. But we only got 358 likes on my end. We need to hit those thumbs up. So make sure to hit those thumbs up button for your boys. All right. Support the channel. Make sure to share these videos. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Come on, support the channel. All right. Chris, we got to do something, man. We haven't done this in a while. And it's gonna be some player ratings. Gotta get back to some player ratings. All right, we gotta talk about the game. Talk about how each and every single player performed. I missed it, man. I like having these debates on how you think a team performs or a player performs. So let's get into it, man. Let's start off with Jalen Brunson. How do you feel? What do you give him? Scale of 1 to 10.
Let's give him a solid 8. Give him a solid 8. Give him a solid 8. He was solid today. Didn't need to do anything crazy and all that. Everyone else stepped up. Give him a solid 8.
Okay. And people in the chat, make sure to throw your votes in there too to let us know what you think you're giving Jalen Brunson on his performance tonight. When I watch Jalen Brunson, I see this type of performance. It's CP. I think all of us have talked about taking him for granted. Especially before we went on the All-Star break and him going dummy and putting up like 30 points, 40-point games. Like he was just on a heater. Now getting 20 points from him, like this is where it's starting to get a little too what's the word? I'm getting spoiled, man. Just getting spoiled from good point guard play. And I see 20 points. I see the 5 assists. The field goal efficiency is a little lackluster for what I'm used to, but he did get to the line, man. He did knock down 7 of 9 of his free throws. I'm gonna go 7.5.
Okay,
I'm gonna go 7.5. I'm gonna go 7.5 just because I feel like he holds himself to a high standard, and I feel like he would want me to hold him to a high standard too. Because
you're right.
I've given him numerous 10s going over 2. I'm gonna give him 7.5 for tonight because. We're not going to get defense out of him. There's some playmaking there. I think it just comes down to making your shots to get back into a rhythm. Solid job overall. Got us 20 points. I'm going to give him 7.5 for tonight. 7.5.
Nah, you know what? I think you might have changed my mind, Alex. I think so.
Oh, you can stay with you can stay with
I
eight.
say, I'll stay. I'll
with eight,
stay.
man. Stay with
I said
eight.
you might have. I said you might have. But I'm sticking with my 8. I think
All right.
he was solid
All right.
enough for the 8. I'm
Don't
sticking with my
feel
8.
swayed by me, all right, man.
You almost did. You were very persuasive,
don't let me
Alex.
sway your decisions, okay?
You were very persuasive there with the
All right.
7.5. But I'm gonna stick with the 8. I'm gonna stick with the 8.
All right. Moving along. Let's go with Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson. I came into this. I know we are gonna do this, and I was like, I think I'm gonna give a lot of high grades today because I felt like everyone played, above an 8 today, above an 8. So I'm gonna give him. This might sound high. I'm gonna give him an 8.5, Alex. I'm gonna give him 8.5. Like I said, I think he did everything good today. Everything we needed from him, he did, and all that. So it may be a little high, but I'm gonna go for it. I told myself I'm gonna give some high grades because I felt like everybody deserves an 8+. I'm going with 8.5 for Mitch.
Okay. I agree with
For
you.
Mitchy gets an 8.5.
Mitchy gets an 8.5. I agree with you. Mitchy gets an 8.5 just for the fact alone that he ain't no snitchy. But
he ain't no snitchy, so he gets an extra 0.5. So boom.
Exactly. That's where he gets the extra credit. But I'm giving Mitch an 8.5 because look, double once again, coming back off injury, gets you 11 points, 13 rebounds. He's altering shots when anyone attacks the lane, rebounding very well, boxing out. Pick and roll defense is just solid.
Mm-hmm.
You see what happens when you have your rim protector, your starting center back in the rotation. It just makes the game a little bit easier. And like I said earlier in the show, when your team is knocking down shots and they're shooting so efficiently, you're shooting 40% from 3, 51% from the field. And then you have a guy who's able to put back any shots that you miss and go 100% from the field, 5 for 5 today. Yeah, I'll give it an 8.5. I'll give it an 8.5 performance, especially with the 28 minutes just coming back off injury. Mitch gets an 8.5. I agree with that.
It would have been a 9 if he hit both his free throws, but
for sure. All right. Let us know in the chat what you think too. We're seeing some 8s, 7.5s, seeing some 9.5s, 9.5.
Ooh.
All right. 10.
Oh, perfect
From
10.
Cody Glock. He said
Cody
10 for
Glock.
because he ain't no.
Mitchy,
no question. All right.
Mitchy.
All right. Again, a 10.
That needs to be a
Glock.
shirt. Somebody needs to make that a shirt.
Getting a 10 for Cody Glock. All right. Moving along. Let's go to Julius Randle, man. How do you feel about Julius Randle's performance?
Hoopiest Randle. I'm giving him a 9. I'm giving Hoopiest a 9. Giving Hoopiest a 9. Give him extra points for that, for the alley-oop dunk and for, just bringing the energy and all that. I think it's more than just what he he had a great game, scoring wise, but just the energy and all that. I'm gonna give him a 9. He was a 9 today. I love what he did today. He brought the energy early, came off the gate, just guns and blazing, and that set the tone for this game because obviously, we stomped on him early. So I'm gonna give Hoopiest a 9.
What'd you give him?
9.
9. Oh, okay. I didn't hear you for a second. Okay, so you're going with the 9 for Julius Randle. Hoopiest.
Hoopiest gets a 9 for me. Yep.
I like that score, man. I like that score. But you know what? I'm gonna go 9.5. I'm gonna go a little bit higher. I'm gonna go a little bit higher because he got some style points today. Okay, we got some style points.
Yeah, a lot of
Julius Randle, because not only did he get you the 28 points, not only did he go 11 for 20 from the field, not only did he go 50%, 5 of 10 from downtown, got you the 7 boards and 5 assists. All right, he was doing it all tonight. But he gets the style points for catching the lob off the backboard from Emmanuel quickly and flushing that dunk down. All right, quick with the steal, busting out in the open court, lays it off the backboard, perfectly timed for Julius to slam it home. Giving that man a 9.5 for that performance. That alone gets you the extra half for me because, look, man, it's basketball. You're supposed to have a little fun. There's supposed to be a little flash to the game. You get something like that. The more the merrier. I love it.
I respect it. And the defense was good too. He played solid defense too today.
Solid defense, man.
So yeah, I like that score. It's definitely over a 9. It's definitely over a 9 for sure for him today.
Okay. Let's go with let's see, because we're wrapping up the show here soon. Let's go with the go with Josh Hart. Let's go with Josh Hart.
Josh Hart, I'm giving him an 8.5.
8.5.
There's a little bit of everything for him. A little bit of everything. Like I said, he just bringing that energy to this team, that I absolutely love. So I'm giving him 8.5.
All right.
So everyone getting an 8 from me.
Right.
Man. Everyone's getting 8+. 8+ today because it was just that type of game. But
Yeah.
I get 8.5 for Josh Hart.
I'll go with an 8. Solid production off the bench within 26 minutes. 5 for 6 from the field. 4-5 from the free throw line. Gets you your 5 rebounds, your 2 assists, your 2 blocks.
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit of everything.
He did a little bit of everything, man. He did a little bit of everything. Dude's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
I like it, man. I like it. I'm going to give him a solid 8 today. Just a solid 8. All right.
Respect it.
Quickly.
IQ. I'm gonna give him an 8.
8?
I'm gonna give him an 8. Solid. Just a solid performance. What he had 6-7 rebounds, 13 points. Just solid off the bench. We needed that, off the bench. So I'm gonna give him an 8.
See, I'm gonna go with 8.5 because once again, it comes with the style points.
You're right, Alex. You are right.
Points.
He was the
rip.
Yes.
The rip. He does offense, defense. We already know what we're getting from quickly. 13 points at this point. He's a double.
That was a beautiful rip.
Beautiful rip. All right, 50% from the field, 2 for 7 from downtown. Could have been a little bit better, but I would give him an 8 because the 3-point shooting could have been a slightly bit better. But once again, going back for style points.
Right.
Steal
100%.
off the glass gets to 8.5. All right, last one. RJ Barrett.
RJ Barrett gets a 9 from me.
Mm.
He gets a 9 from me. Set the tone with the 3-point shooting early. Just a great bounce back game for RJ. Passing was to me tremendous. That was to me was the best part of his game today. He was just finding guys and all that. Giving RJ a 9. He deserves it. Give him a 9.
All right. I'm going 9.5, man.
Ooh. Okay.
I'm going 9.5.
Okay.
All right. I know some are not going to like this, but I got. Look, this is one of the most efficient games I've seen from RJ this season. 8 for 13 from the field to get you 25 points. 4 for 7 from downtown.
Mm-hmm.
He's been, you think the windows are open in Madison Square Garden by the way he's been airballing, bricking. All right. So seeing him shoot from 3, hits all of his free throws once again, man. He was strong from the free throw line for a while before getting to a slump. 7 assists. All right. 7 assists what really stands out for me. And that's where I got to give the extra half because there were moments where I thought in the beginning of this game, I was like, are we going to go back to blinders RJ? Or are we just not going to be finding guys that are open? And there was one for Julius Julius was wide open on 3. He drove. And I was like, then he threw it up for Mitch. I was like, hey, I'll take that. I mean, you had Julius wide open for 3. Dude's been fired, but I'll take the lob to Mitch because I've been missing those. So that was solid. Knocking down the threes, like I said, but his passing was good today. Gets you 7 assists. So 9.5 for RJ Barrett. And that is Player Ratings, which is brought to you by KnicksFanTV.com. Make sure to go check out Remy's recaps after every single game. He details every single player after every game. So make sure to go over to KnicksFanTV.com to go check that out. And we also got a bunch of other great writers over there. We got a lot of content over there. Make sure to go check out all the articles. We just had Max who wrote a very good in-depth piece about how Mitchell Robinson is key for this team and how the Knicks were able to succeed. Got my article about Emmanuel quickly. We got a lot of articles up over at KnicksFanTV.com right now. So make sure to go check that out. And with that, man, I think this is a good place to end the show. So thank you to Knicks Nation for tuning in. All right. Thank you to Knicks Nation for tuning in. It was a solid win once again. We saw the New York Knicks wire-to-wire win against the New Orleans Pelicans, 128.
Alex,
victory.
Say that again.
Wire-to-wire win. 6 wire-to-wire win for the New York Knicks on the season, 128-106. Such a good win. All right, we got 1,200 watching us live right now, but we still got 419. Make sure to hit those thumbs up button for your boys. All right. Appreciate all of Knicks Nation for tuning in. Even if you're just an NBA fan, appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure to go check out KnicksFanTV.com, like I already mentioned, to go check out all the articles. Make sure to support our sponsors, Manscaped. All right, Manscaped. If you go out there, look, I just got the lawnmower 4.0 as well. I just got the buzzer for the beard. All right, you know, you gotta take care of these things, man. You gotta take care of the beard. You gotta take
It's
care.
a lot of maintenance.
It's a lot of maintenance, man. You need the balm, you need the conditioning, you need all that stuff. So Manscaped, you know, they're strapping us real good with all the stuff for taking care of our beards. So make sure to go over to Manscaped. Make sure to use that promo code KFTV to get that 20% discount and free shipping. All right. And also check out PrizePicks. It's a lot of fun. We talked about that as well. And look, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Make sure to share. We're on that road to 60K. All right. We're at 59.3 thousand subscribers. We thank all of Knicks Nation, all of the subscribers, everyone who always tunes in. We thank you first and foremost, because without this is impossible. Make sure to subscribe, share these videos, cut them up, tell them that we got them on all audio listening platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Alexa, Stitch, you name it. We're all over the place. Share it. All right, because we're trying to get to 60K next, and of course, we're trying to get to 100K, but we're getting close to 60K. So let's get to the 60K first. But thank you all for tuning in once again. Salute to all the mods. Salute to TM. Salute to JJ. Salute to all you for tuning in. Shout out to you, Chris. Awesome job today.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to Chuck D. I know he's tuning in. All right. Salute Knicks Nation. Appreciate you, Daniel. We'll catch you next time. All right. Well, when the Knicks play the Boston Celtics, we'll catch you then. All right. We out.